I understand why people don't like to be told to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. But I think all of us benefit from recognizing the role of our environment. And that was my intent in this video, where this comment is. When we don't recognize the role of our environment, we turn into really shitty humans who have no empathy. And we sure don't make work policies or other policies, such at the government level, that are feasible for people actually being able to move up in social class. When we recognize areas that the environment has worked out for us, we're able to recognize where we have power and where we can lend a helping hand. You can get into saviorism doing that, but you don't have to. I've made other videos on that. If I only focused on the negative parts of my environment and not the positive ones, I would not have the career I have. And I'd be a really shitty human. For all the disadvantages I've had and all the unwritten rules I didn't know, I still had parents who let me borrow the minivan to drive to community college while I was in high school, which, I got a lot of shit for from other college students, but I got the first 2 years of my education for free from the state of Florida because I was able to do that. Some people's families don't have a vehicle that could make it. It was the same vehicle that they bought when I was 3 months old, but it got there, usually. My dad did always say his cars ran on duct tape and Jesus. I grew up in an area where I didn't see a lot of professional careers, and I certainly didn't see women in them, besides teaching and nursing. When I got to college, I found out about jobs I didn't know existed. But I also had parents who were college graduates who had bachelors. My dad was first generation student. So I learned how to write English in a way that colleges deem the right way. And so that definitely gave me an advantage in getting into school and doing well in school. I also just happened to be born into a state that has more affordable tuition than most places, notoriously. And the list goes on. I tell people in my keynote that when we run into the fear of being replaced or the fear of being wrong or the fear of having to change, that what we have the opportunity to do is to choose the courage to recognize where our power is. Because when we just point out our problems, other people don't take us as seriously. And it's shitty, but it's true. I had a colleague who was a gay man who said that LGBTQ marriage never would have happened without straight people getting on board just by the sheer numbers. And that doesn't discount that LGBTQ plus people have been fighting for their rights for hundreds of years and still are in many parts of the world. I don't think women's rights are going to go anywhere until men get involved. Part of why I speak up about racial issues is because people just blame people of color as, well, they only care about racial issues or they're making it up because it benefits them. So it sounds a little different when it comes from me. I try not to overstep and stay in my lane, but my intent is to not just be passive. So when you have privilege in somewhere, where you have power in somewhere, where you had an opportunity, one, we can stop holding other people to impossible analogies that we didn't even live ourselves. But we also have an opportunity to make work in the world a better place, to fit the puzzle pieces together of where you have a gap, I have something to offer. And maybe where I have a gap, you have something you can offer to help as well. Once I understood the role of the environment, I realized I didn't understand the rules of the environment. And that's where everything started to get really interesting.